Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back here to Where Are They Now Wednesdays here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, presented by Doak Propane, the Bank of Billings, and Chevy Dealers of the Ozark. It is Season 2, Episode 14 here on July the 9th, 2025, Episode 66 overall. And a reminder that you're watching the original Where Are They Now Wednesday. Don't be fooled by the Johnny-come-latelys who have passed by the wayside. Playing on Sports and the Missouri Sports Network are your sources for not only what Missouri high school talent does when they're in high school, but when they get to the national stage of the NCAA. No one has more information for you than we do. Hey, and do us a favor. Go to our Facebook page and give us a like. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, and you'll be the smartest fan in the stands. Hey, pass this on to your friends as well. And, hey, if you want to leave us a message, you can email us at playingonsports@gmail.com, or you can email me at MissouriSportsNetwork@gmail.com. And, hey, we really appreciate you tuning in every week like you have been for over 1 year. Are you ready? All right, that's good because we've done our homework for you, or we've done your homework for you. Hey, and welcome in Kent Mueller here alongside from Playing on Sports. And Kent, tell us a little bit about what last week was and what this week holds.
All right. Well, last week we had an episode where we highlighted Missouri athletes who were on a roster of an NCAA team that finished in the Final Four in a spring sport. We had 28 on Final Four rosters in the fall season. That rose in the winter sports to 57 spring sports. Without even counting the track and field athletes, there are 74 Missourians on an NCAA team that finished in the Final Four. Well, one small adjustment to that. For baseball and softball, it's the final 8. That's because of how baseball and softball college World Series are structured. They go from 8 teams to the 2 who play for the championship. There were so many that there just wasn't enough time to cover them all last week, and we'll wrap that up today. We aren't covering track and field today, but we are getting to many other sports. So, which sports have been and will be represented? Baseball and softball? Sure. Men's lacrosse? There are 9. Both men's and women's golf are represented, and the same with tennis. Rowing is represented, and so is volleyball. Volleyball, that's a fall sport, right? Well, not for the men. Men's volleyball has been growing rapidly in Missouri. There are almost 100 high schools fielding a boys volleyball team. And yes, they are competitive nationally. The sport has advanced to where there were 3 Missourians on men's volleyball rosters at the Final Four. That is another rising athletic opportunity for many more Missouri athletes. And we'll get to much of that and more right after these messages from some of our sponsors.
Hi, I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck.
And a high-tech Chevy SUV.
Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support. For life. Great Southern Bank. Understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Hey, welcome back to Where Are They Now Wednesdays here on the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller from Playing on Sports as we prepare for tomorrow's broadcast, our 8th Missouri Milestones podcast, which will air tomorrow morning. Kent, talk a little bit about that.
Well, the Missouri Milestones certainly have taken off like a rocket, and so has Missouri Milestones, the podcast. Tomorrow, I'll take a look into various athletes who are permanently on these lists. I'm going to be looking at boys basketball and girls basketball, of course, those who have scored 1,000 or more in their career. And I'm going to look at this somewhat year by year. Sports is great for stats, and stats always includes a leader. I'm going to be looking at who is the leader in various years of the boys. For example, my high school senior year, 1974. Who in Missouri, what boy has scored the most points in their career? And also for the girls. We'll be looking at various names like that.
Well, we've got an exciting interview coming up tomorrow. A young lady that I haven't interviewed for more than 12 years, Andi Haney, who graduated at West Plains and was very fortunate that her coach at the high school level, Scott Womack, he kind of helped set this up. But she is the all-time leading scorer of West Plains history with over 2,000 points scored. She's also number 1 in career steals. She's number 3 in career assists and in the top 10 as well in rebounds from the point guard position. Very outstanding player that I got to watch on many occasions live. But, Kit, how can other people help? I know we've put this out every week, and we continue. Scott Womack sent us a list of 10 or 12 just yesterday from West Plains that we did not have. So how can people help us?
Well, they can help us by sending us anybody they know who has scored 1,000 points, or look at our football and volleyball statistics. Who do you know who has surpassed those barriers to get onto those lists? And also forward this to someone you know at your high school, because schools they have these lists. Sometimes they're not up on the gym wall. Sometimes they're in a drawer someplace. Sometimes they're in some tablet off to the end somewhere. But many times they are there, and sometimes they just have to dig for a while. But once they do, then everybody benefits, because we will keep those safe and public forever. So that is a great way, and just send them to me at playingonsports@gmail.com.
Very good. Where are we going to start off today?
Well, I'll tell you what, we've been looking at Missourians who helped their team get to the Final Four, and here are more Missourians who helped their team in the NCAA this year. Dave Linhart is a sophomore out of Helias. He plays Division III ball. He is at Methodist University in the USA South Conference. Getting on a college golf roster isn't easy. Even more difficult is getting on a roster that soars and wins a national title. What is even more difficult than that is getting onto a roster that has expectations every year of national titles. This year, not only did Methodist University repeat as the Division III national champion, they won their 15th NCAA championship. As a sophomore, Davis competed 3 times during the fall season. He was on the course at the NCAA Division III preview, the Chick-fil-A Invitational, and the O'Brien-Jensen Memorial Tournament. His lowest score and best finish was in the Chick-fil-A when he was even for the tournament, finishing 4th out of 128 golfers. This spring, he competed in the Falcon Shootout, where he finished 19th out of a field of 78, and no doubt helped his teammates celebrate a national championship. The Central Missouri women's golf team placed 2nd at the NCAA Division II National Championships. There were 4 women from Missouri who helped make that happen. Maya McVeigh is a sophomore out of Blue Springs South. Mia Rallo is a junior out of St. Joseph's Academy. Nicole Rallo is a senior out of St. Joseph's Academy. And Reese Nimmo is a freshman out of Warrensburg. The number 20 ranked Central Missouri Jennies finished runner-up at the NCAA Division II Women's Golf National Championship. The runner-up showing at the national championship was the best showing in program history. It was also the first Central Region championship for Central Missouri. In addition, the Jennies won its third consecutive MIAA Women's Golf Championship and set a program record for the best four-player team scoring average at 296.2 over 30 rounds. The Jennies were led in the national championship by junior Mia Rallo, who shot an 18-hole score of 69, which was 3 under, to win her match by 1 stroke. Sophomore Maya McVeigh shot an 18-hole score of 72, which was even par. Senior Nicole Rallo shot a 1 over par 73. Those were 3 Missourians who paced Central Missouri to the championship match. Let's take a closer look at their history-setting season. Maya McVeigh, the sophomore out of Blue Springs South, had a best score this year of 2 under par at the Spring Regional Preview. That placed her 6th out of 107 golfers. Maya also finished 1 under par 3 times. First at the Grace Shin Regional Preview, where she tied for 3rd out of the field of 119. She then saved some of her best for a great finish to the season. Maya finished 1 under par and 2nd out of 96 at the NCAA Division II Central Regional. And on the biggest stage of the national championships, her 1 under par performance tied her for 25th out of the 94 golfer field. For the season, Maya averaged 3 over par over 30 rounds. When Maya first arrived at UCM a year ago as a freshman, she earned MIAA All Tournament honors and All Central Region honors. This year, she was named an Academic All-American. Mia Rallo, the junior out of St. Joseph Academy, had an outstanding season, finishing below par in 4 tournaments. Like Maya McVeigh, Mia finished 1 under par at the Grace Shin Regional Preview. That tied her for 3rd out of 119. At the Dallas Baptist University Classic, Mia's 2 under par was good for a 6th place tie out of the field of 71. The Spring Regional Preview was the first tournament this season where Mia shot a 3 under par 141. That tied her for 4th out of 107. Performing her best when it counts most, she shot a 3 under par 213 at the national championships. That tied her for 13th out of 94. Over her 30 rounds during the season, Mia averaged just 2 over par. Mia was named a Women's Golf Coaches Association second-team All-American. That makes it 2 years in a row, as the junior was also a second-team All-American as a sophomore. She was All-Region, All-MIAA, and the MIAA Women's Golfer of the Year. The St. Joseph Academy product was also Academic All-Region and Academic All-American. Nicole Rallo. Nicole has a familiar last name. The senior is a sister of Mia Rallo. Nicole's lowest finish were 2 times when she tied for 4th. Those were the 2 tournaments leading up to the national championships. In poor weather, she tied for 4th out of 69 at the MIAA Women's Golf Championship. She also tied for 4th out of the 96 competing at the NCAA Division II Central Region. Saving her best for last, Nicole shot a 3 over par 219, a tie for 43rd at the national championship tournament. For the season, she averaged 4 over par during her 27 rounds. Nicole was honorable mention All-MIAA clear back in 2021-22 when she was a freshman. She earned All Central Region honors as a junior. Reese Nimmo, just a freshman, Reese competed in 16 rounds over 7 tournaments this year. Her best finish was at the Midwest Intercollegiate Tournament, where she finished in a tie for 17th out of a field of 78 competitors. The freshman out of Warrensburg was honored as an Academic All-American. Missouri had 9 men make it to the semifinal round of the Men's Division II Men's Lacrosse Championships. Gavin Baumstadt is a sophomore midi out of DeSmet. He's playing his Division II lacrosse at the University of Tampa in the Sunshine State Conference. Tampa made it all the way to the championship game, ending up as a runner-up in Division II. As a sophomore, Gavin played in 15 of the 22 games. He scored 5 goals and made 3 assists. He made half of his shots on goal, and he picked up 8 ground balls. It took the undefeated and eventual national champion to knock Maryville University out of the national championship tournament semifinals. It was a great run for the Saints after winning the Great Lakes Valley Conference tournament title. Playing from Maryville on the Final Four team were 8 Missourians. Jake Grebe is a graduate student middie out of Lindbergh High. He is at Maryville after spending 4 years on the field for Elmhurst University. Jake scored a goal in that last game against national champion Tampa. He started 16 of the Saints' 19 games. He was third on the team in both goals and assists, recording 47 points for Maryville, the second most on the team. Jake picked up 18 balls and caused 5 turnovers, and he did all of that while only receiving 1 penalty, which put him in the box for only 30 seconds. Dylan Radke is a graduate student goalkeeper out of DeSmet. Dylan entered his graduate year season coming off of a year where he was second team All Great Lakes Valley Conference and honorable mention All-American. This was a year in which he set the program record with 197 saves. This year, his .502 save percentage got him 158 more saves. He got the decision in every game with 14 wins and only 4 losses. Chris Anderson is a redshirt sophomore middie out of DeSmet. Chris played in all 19 games, scoring 9 goals and getting 4 assists. He picked up 9 ground balls and caused a turnover. Eli Winkbermuley is a sophomore middie out of Seckman High. Eli played in 11 of the 19 games for the Saints. In those 11 games, he scored 2 goals and made 3 assists. He also picked up 4 ground balls. Ethan Rodewald was a freshman attack out of Park Hill South. The freshman got on the field in 4 games this year. Connor Clancy is a senior middie out of DeSmet. Connor played in 7 games this year. He picked up 1 ground ball and caused 2 turnovers. He has 1 year of eligibility remaining and has been an academic all-GLVC honoree every year. Aiden Italiano is a sophomore middie out of Lafayette High. The sophomore former Lancer played in 4 games this year, picking up 2 ground balls. And Blake Schluter is a freshman defender out of DeSmet. In his rookie year, Blake picked up 1 ball in the 1 game he played, and all finished in the top 4. What a great year for all of those Missourians. And there are 5 women from Missouri who played on rowing teams that finished in the top 4 of the NCAA. Audrey Bast is a sophomore out of Marquette High. She's at the University of Tennessee. Also at the University of Tennessee is Grace Rickman, who is a junior out of St. Francis Borgia, and Bridget Sissel, who is a freshman out of Corhezu Academy. Audrey, Grace, and Bridget all competed in the 8th competition, where the Volunteers placed 4th nationally. Rachel Harris is a sophomore out of Parkway Central. She competed in Division II rowing at Central Oklahoma, as did Izzy Monroe, who is a freshman out of Kirkwood High. Rachel and Izzy both competed in the 4s competition, where they finished 2nd in the nation. We have 1 Missouri high school grad that was on a men's tennis roster that placed in the top 4 nationally. Trey Lambright is a sophomore out of Pembroke Hill. He competes in Division III tennis at Case Western Reserve University in the University Athletic Association. The 29-6 Spartans finished 2nd at the NCAA Division III National Championships. As a freshman a year ago, Trey went 7-2 in singles and 2-6 in doubles. He followed that up with a sophomore year that saw him go 8-2 in singles and 2-0 in doubles. He played as high as a 3rd spot, which he won. And in doubles, he and his partner played as high as a number 1 spot, which they won that match also. Trey is now 15-4 in singles halfway through his collegiate career. There were 4 women from Missouri who made it to the women's tennis Final Four, all in Division III. 2 Missouri high school grads were on Washington University women's tennis team that won the NCAA Division III championship. The Wash U Bears came out of the University Athletic Association. Ainsley Heidbreeder is a senior out of the John Burroughs School, and Randy Hedricks is a senior out of the Pembroke Hill School. Ainsley and Randy are good examples how competitors in high school can become teammates in college. During the 4 years of their high school careers, John Burroughs won 3 state championships and came in 2nd once. Competing in the same division, Pembroke Hill won 1 title, came in second twice, and third once. This year, as teammates, they got to enjoy a season that ended in a national championship. In Ainsley's WashU career, she was 9-3 in singles and 14-7 in doubles. The biochemistry major was 1-1 in singles this season and 1-1 in doubles. In Randy's WashU career, she was 8-5 in singles and 3-1 in doubles. She was named an ITA Scholar Athlete twice and Academic All-University Athletic Association 3 times. Also getting to the Final Four in Division III was Shayna Madela. She's a freshman out of John Burroughs. She is now at Johns Hopkins University in the Centennial Conference. The Blue Jays got to the semifinals in Division III. They bowed out when they lost to Washington University. Winning is something Shayna is familiar with. Back at John Burroughs, she led the Bombers to 2 state championships. She was a 4-time first-team All-Metro and 2-time Metro League Player of the Year. That level of performance continued when she arrived at Johns Hopkins. In addition to majoring in neuroscience and public health, Shayna finished her freshman season with a 12-1 record in singles and 20-7 in doubles. The 20 doubles wins are tied for the most by a freshman in program history. The 32 combined wins are tied for 7th most by a freshman. Shayna and her doubles partner advanced to round of 16 this year. She won her first 12 single matches upon entering college. She won 11 straight doubles matches in the fall season and won 7 straight doubles in the spring. The freshman competed as high as 4th in singles and as high as 2nd in doubles. In singles, she didn't lose until her last match on May 20th at the National Championships, when she finally took a loss again in doubles on May 21st. She hadn't lost in doubles since April 12th. Things look very bright for the former Bomber now that she is a Blue Jay. Also winding up in the Division III Final Four was Emily Cantrovic. She's a junior out of where else? John Burroughs. She is at Emory University, which is also in the University Athletic Association, along with Case Western and also Washington University and Emory. The Emory Eagles finally ended their season in the national semifinals when they bowed out against Pomona Pitzer. Emily was ranked 104th in the nation coming out of John Burroughs. The 4-star recruit did not disappoint when she arrived in Atlanta. In 3 years, she has compiled a singles record of 70-20. 29 of those wins came this year, along with just 6 losses. This, her junior year, she finished the season ranked 1st in the region and 2nd nationally. In doubles, she has a career record of 50 wins and 45 losses. Her final regional doubles ranking was 3rd, while her national ranking was 18th. Let me get my breath so that I can tell you about Emily as an Emory Eagle. As a freshman, she was an ITA All-America in doubles. She was All-Conference UAA first team and was the UAA Rookie of the Year. She led her Eagles with her 19 singles wins. She was selected to compete in the NCAA individual championships in both singles and doubles. As a sophomore, she was an ITA All-American in both singles and doubles. She was All-UAA first team in both also. She earned conference all-academic honors and was selected for the NCAA individual singles competition. This was her junior year. She again was ITA All-American in both singles and doubles. Emily was named the UAA Most Valuable Player and the conference first team. She was a CSC Academic All-America First Team honoree. Emily advanced to the national semifinals in singles at the NCAA National Championships. As a junior, she won her 2nd consecutive ITA South Region Singles Championship. By winning 29 matches, she became the 6th woman in program history to do so. All of that, and we get another year to follow her exploits at Emory University. And we will bring them back to you next year. Guy, we have covered a lot of Missouri athletes who have done a lot at the next level. So often Missouri is disproportionately represented at the very highest levels.
Well, it's been outstanding. As you look throughout the year, we've talked about Notre Dame football. We've talked about Ohio State football. We've talked about the Texas Lady Longhorn softball program. they're just sprinkled throughout the country, and they're contributing at the highest level on the biggest stage. And it's been a pleasure to get to follow them along. And I've hoped that the fans of this podcast have enjoyed following along with us.
That's right. And Guy, let's talk a little bit about Missouri milestones again before we sign off.
Yeah, Missouri milestones. And like we said, we started with basketball, 1,000 career point scores on the men's and women's side of basketball. We're up, approaching 3,000 names on that list as we've added, the names that we added yesterday that Scott Womack had provided us yesterday. And, we're getting to catch up with one of those, the all-time leading scorer, career scorer in West Plains Ladies Israel history, a history with a couple of state championships, going back to the first one in 1998 with Corinza Barr as part of that championship, to the one more recent with Ashton Judd, who is now at Mizzou playing basketball as well. So we're going to catch up with some of that. I have enjoyed getting to, visit with and going back in, week one with Jimmy Gummersbach, in 1963, graduate of CBC, to catch up with Callie Bildner, an interview that will be forthcoming as we go forward. Also looking forward to visiting with the likes of Fred Johnson, who's the all-time leading scorer on the men's side, out of Wellsville, Middletown. And coincidentally, this winter, they just named the gymnasium floor the Fred Johnson floor. So I got to visit with him a little bit about that and look forward to that. But I invite everybody, tune in, tomorrow morning on Missouri Milestones, the podcast. And we'll talk a little bit about the milestones, and then we'll come up in that second segment with that interview that we're going to have with Andy Haney, who was one of my most favorite players to watch play.
Well, and again, I want to remind people they can help us out by sending information to playingonsports@gmail.com. Also, send a request to your school for the information, and either the school or you can send it to us. And also, a great way to keep up with what we're doing is to follow Guy and I on X. You can follow me at plain_.com, and you can follow Guy at Scoreboard Guy on X. And also, I want to just mention one athlete that we have interviewed, and it was a great interview, but we can't interview her this week because it would be a really long distance call. And as I've recently noted, Addison Bourne is a rising senior at Park Hill South and is a member of the USA Basketball U19 women's team. Addie already has 2 World Cup gold medals she has accumulated over the last 2 years and is looking to add a third. That competition starts on July 12th in Brno, Czech Republic. That is when Addie and her Team USA teammates play South Korea. They will play Hungary the next day before they complete pool play on the 15th against Israel. Addie is a Missouri athlete that not only competes nationally, but internationally. We'll keep up with Addie's performance on the court, and you can again do that by following me at plain_sports and Guy at Scoreboard Guy on X.
Outstanding. Well, that'll wrap up another show. We certainly appreciate everybody tuning in here to Where Are They Now Wednesdays here on the Missouri Sports Network. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us, hey, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here next Wednesday.